tricky today. I don't want to disturb people because it's a hotel. A few years ago, it just felt more like you could do these streams and it wouldn't bother people. So obviously, you've got to respect. There's a balance of respecting other people and also not caring about what people think. The client asked me the difference between that, and I was explaining it to him. Anyway, I'm going to continue with these live streams whenever I've got time. And from the last stream that I've done on, the idea of committing to 1 year to overcome your social anxiety, reason being, just to get straight to the point, is because it requires a lot of work. You're not someone who's got severe social anxiety is not going to overcome it in a week or even in a month. If that's the case, then they didn't really have it bad in the first place. From my experience of overcoming it and working with so many clients, it's going to take about a year. Could even take longer, depending on whether you've got a coach or not and how much work you put in. But like I said in the last stream, it's changing your relationship with time, because it's just normal human thinking to assume to have a negative outlook on the concept of 1 year, because it's like 1 year is a long time, but it's not really. It goes quick. As you get older, a year starts to feel like 6 months, even less. So 1 year really does guarantee you. That's what it does actually. It puts a guarantee in place that you're actually going to overcome it, and that's a brilliant thing. Whereas when people are not fully committed, they don't realise that they're really messing themselves up for failure in all aspects, but especially with social anxiety. Social anxiety is something that needs a lot of attention. It needs a lot of momentum, a lot of practice, because it's a learned behaviour that you've got to learn. You've got to learn to speak more. You've got to learn to be more confident. You've got to learn to be more extroverted. And of course, the most challenging thing is you've got to learn to become relaxed. And to get to that point, I'm going to be honest, the reality is you've got to go through a lot of discomfort, a lot of awkwardness, a lot of nervousness, a lot of shyness. But if you stick at those things, then you're going to become really confident. It's usually always people that were really shy to begin with, and they could never imagine themselves changing. They make the biggest changes, as I've said. Just looking at people around the world, seeing their stories who had social anxiety, someone like David Goggins. If I can use myself as an example, who had social anxiety, how I am now. And many of the clients that I've coached that have been committed, they've had a bad start and then they've turned it around. Coffee's not kicking in yet. So two things actually. What I said in the last stream, I spoke about social anxiety is a broad area, and you've got to kind of narrow it down with goals in order to. Basically, you need goals because you won't motivate yourself to go out and talk to people and face your fears. So I've titled on this stream, Business and Sales. If you can get a business or a sales job, or you can start your own business, even better. If that's something that's you want to do. It's one of the best ways to overcome social anxiety. That's a big way in which I overcame my social anxiety. I started a business, started coaching other people, and it forced me to do phone calls, face-to-face meetings, in the city, loads of face-to-face meetings, loads of events, loads of public talks, lots of selling. And selling gives you confidence. It basically, selling and public speaking in a business world, in entrepreneurship or business, it's really great because it really does rapidly improve your social skills and your relationship skills. Although obviously, selling is a different conversation to the conversation that we have with our parents or our friends that we're comfortable and close with, or our neighbours. So it's people are scared of selling, as you know. It's a collective human fear. And I was really scared of it as well until I became less scared by doing it and getting good at it and breaking the fear down by realizing there's not really anything to be afraid of. Most of it is the fear of thinking that you won't be able to handle a conversation with someone about money and about them rejecting you or accepting you, or or it being uncomfortable. So I hope people understand this. I'm trying to not overcomplicate my point. So business and sales is good anyway for people that want to improve social skills and they want to be better with people. But for someone who's got social anxiety, I couldn't think of a better thing. Now, someone with social anxiety at the beginning, that's the last thing that they want to do is sell. It's almost like it's too honest, it's too dangerous for them. That they can be in that mindset, which is something that you have to change over time. Hence why I said you need a year time frame, because it takes time to build your confidence. I mean, it took me, it's taken me years to get to a stage now where I can do this live stream. I mean, there's not loads of people around, but there are people here working and stuff. They can hear me, they can see me. So I couldn't do these things years ago. I was too shy, I was too nervous, but I built up to it. So business, selling. I mean, one of my clients at the moment, both of my clients actually, they're both doing my 1-year program. Obviously, they're doing it separately, and they both run businesses, and they're both improved their confidence, and their social anxiety is completely lessened because of, for 3 reasons. Number one, because they're committed, which is great. Not everybody is, unfortunately. Number two, because they're doing my 1-year coaching program, and I'm coaching them and helping them. And number three, because they're running businesses. So running a business forces you to speak to people. It forces you to open up, because you can't really go to a business meeting. If you're selling something, or you have a product or a service and somebody is interested in it, you can't really go to a meeting and just be like that, just not saying nothing, right? It's just going to be a bit unusual, right? Obviously, that's going to be awkward in a negative way. So for that reason, for people who have got social anxiety, which are generally shy people to begin with, and again, the labels that I'm using are not permanent labels. Believe me, I'm with all you guys. I don't like people putting, negative labels on people, but I'm just saying, making a point to make you understand how you can change within a year. So, and I'm reflecting on how I used to be and how I changed. I think I need another coffee. So, it's not kicking in lately, it's weird. I think I'm getting immune to these coffees. All right, Timmy, good to see you. So, where was I? So, yeah, basically, where someone is introverted and shy because of the anxiety, and they tend to quite shut down around people and just not really say much. When you go to a business meeting and someone is interested in what you've got to sell or say, you have to speak. It forces you, and then it's a good thing to be forced in that way, because then you get to be your best. Does that make sense? You get to actually show your personality, and then you get to also realize that generally most people are going to like you if you're respectful, confident. So that's really good. And the more you do it, the more confident you get. At first it's awkward, going out and selling and getting on the phone or doing live streams. A lot of business today is on the internet, things like this, what I'm doing. So at the start it's awkward because you're not used to it, and you feel nervous and embarrassed and clumsy. Everyone feels like that when they start something new, especially people with social anxiety. But the more you do it, the more confident you get. And the more confident you get, the less awkward you feel. You start to become more comfortable. So, becoming more socially comfortable around people comes with being more confident, if that makes sense. So I've also titled on this stream, dating and selling is great for overcoming social anxiety. Business and selling, but so is dating. Dating is also good if if you're looking for a relationship, which most people are at some point, and if you're not, then that's fine. Or you want to date, you want to meet someone and have a connection. Going on dates. I'm not talking about online dating. I don't think that's very good unless you meet a person in real life. But actually meeting up and going on a date or going on a series of dates is brilliant for getting over social anxiety. It really helped me when I was starting out. before I started coaching other people, because I was really scared and nervous, and a date was a big deal for me. For most people it is, but for someone who's got bad social anxiety, meeting another person that you don't know to begin with, and going out with them for 2-3 hours, it's really daunting until you get used to it. Same as a sales meeting or public speaking. So that's what I do on the 1-year program. I establish what my clients' goals are, and I've given examples. And the main goal is obviously, to overcome the social anxiety, but the actual achievements or how they want to live their life could be to start a business, or to get a relationship, or to increase the chances of getting a relationship by increasing your confidence. So any of you now can apply this and do this now. You can start from today. And as I said, when you really get into it, you start to enjoy the process of going out, socializing, being accountable. Time does start to speed up. It kind of works for you rather than against you, if that makes sense. If you guys got any questions, put them in the box, so I'll answer them. I've got a client at 1 o'clock, so I've got a bit of time till then. Got a 2-hour session with a client over Zoom. He's doing my 1-year program as well. Just reading the question. This coffee's not kicking in. Sometimes I have a coffee and I think, what's going on? It's made me sleepy. You guys ever get that when you have a coffee and it's tastes lovely, but it hasn't affected me? I don't know if I've got an immune having too many coffees. I'm not getting that. It's not waking me up. Then again, it is Friday, and it has been a gruesome, busy week teaching business. I'm a bit tired. So where was I? Sorry guys, I'm switching off a bit. I need another coffee. Get your questions in and subscribe to the channel. So yeah, basically, committing to 1 year is, see, let me explain again a mistake people do, which is frustrating for me, because they could do so much better. So someone with social anxiety, a lot of you want to overcome it. What a lot of people do is they start to work on it, which is great. You might watch some of my videos, or you do some coaching with me. You might do a short coaching program with me, or you just start following the advice on the channel, and they start, going out and socializing, which is brilliant, and making progress, but then they don't stick to it. So you might put 2 months of practice in, you're starting to make progress, right? You're not going to get to the end goal just yet of where you want to be, but you're going to make progress, which is great. And then people end up giving up. So instead of just saying, okay, let me just dedicate 1 year in 2003, put that whole year of practice in, overcome social anxiety, or become a lot more confident, and I can enjoy the rest of the years, stopping and starting, you're going to waste more time. And people sometimes don't realize, they think that they're going to save money by not investing in my coaching, one of my programs, but really, you're not going to save money, you're going to lose money. If you keep stopping and starting, then you're going to lose time. You can earn money back, you can't get time back. So it's really, again, thinking about the relationship with time, not wasting time, investing your money on a program, and changing your life as quick as possible. So most people are probably going to spend 10 or 15 years to overcome social anxiety, because they're going to be doing a little bit 1 year, they're going to go back again, a little bit another year. So it's really condensing it all into 1 year, putting that time in, and then overcoming it quicker. Does that make sense? So in reality, when you do the 1 year program, it's a shortcut. It's not a long cut. I know a lot of people are going to hear 1 year and think, oh, 1 year is really, really long. That's a long commitment. Well, think about how quick the years are going for you right now. Think about how quick it was since we were in COVID, when it started in 2019, and how we're in 2023 now. So it goes, as you get older, it goes quicker, as I said. So you really want to start now. I would start from, where are we, April to April, make a note, and really consider investing in my 1 year program, because when you've got me helping you, it's so much easier. It's a million times easier. All my clients say it, and I know it is, because doing it on your own is hard. It's hard without support of a mentor and a coach. And I know one of the benefits is I know how to coach you. And I know how you're feeling because I had social anxiety. I'm really compassionate towards it. So you're not working with a coach who is teaching something, helping people to solve a problem that he's never had. They don't really understand. So I understand, and I can work with you, and it will be a lot easier. It's still going to be challenging, don't get me wrong. I'm honest about that. But it's going to be a lot less challenging than if you did it on your own. It wouldn't be appropriate to do that, Timmy. I'm in a public place. I wouldn't do that. So again, it's really getting your head around the commitment. And as I said, this is what changed my life. Before I even did the 1 year program, I never even considered doing it. I did it myself. I wasted a lot of years doing what a lot of you are doing, going back and forward, making a bit of progress, quitting again. And when I heard that Les Brown video, I decided to stick to it, and that's what made me change my life, by putting that time in. I don't do that, mate. I'm not into that stuff. I'm not into gaming people and stuff. So you're asking the wrong person. My thing is about being honest with people, wherever you're talking to, so not using any games. So I can't answer that for you. You have to ask someone who does that. So as I was saying, with the 1 year commitment to overcoming social anxiety, it is a mindset. You're making that commitment rather than basically you're making a decision to change your life. So to give you a simple example, every single day, let's say you're around your family, or you're at work, or you're in a business meeting, or you're talking to me now, there's always a choice to make a commitment to speak and open up, or to close down and be shy. So if you think about that on a simple level, on a day-to-day level, like I said before, an exercise I tell my clients to do is, when you go into a coffee shop, if the gentleman's serving you or the lady's serving you, like I did it earlier when the guy made me the coffee, I paid the bill, I had a little conversation with him. Don't just go, yeah, here's my card, pay the bill, and don't say anything, because you don't improve socially like that. You don't get more confident, you don't overcome the awkwardness and stuttering and being nervous with people, because you're not practicing, you're not being social enough. So it's the simple things that you start with to build a habit, to get some confidence, and then you can move up. So, when I was first nervous, I found it hard just to go into public places and order food. This is years ago. So once I got used to doing that, I went from not being able to go into maybe, KFC or Sainsbury's. I found it very stressful at the time. So I went from not being able to do that to then being able to go out and give public talks, do public speaking, and make a sales call, make money, help a client. So if you can do the small things and you can get confident at that, then you can speak in groups. So basically, like a lot of my clients say that they can't speak in groups of people, and I say, well, work on speaking more with one person, with a friend or your girlfriend or your parents, someone at work, or your coach. Practice getting more social and conversational with one person, and then go to a group meetup. Come to one of my events, or go to a meetup group where there's a group of 4 or 5 people, and just start to speak more. Everyone can do it. That's what I realized. People are sometimes stubborn, and they just tell themselves, because of the anxiety and the fear, they let the fear take over, and then they just say, well, I'm not social, I can't speak in groups. But the reality is, if you really wanted to, you can. It's just that you're afraid to do it, and you're scared about getting uncomfortable and just being awkward around people. So making a 1 year commitment is basically saying, I'm going to commit for 1 year to coming outside of my comfort zone so I can overcome my social anxiety. Yeah, I appreciate that, Johnny. I can't really say the max age, to be honest, because I can't really say. I don't think there's an age limit on, speaking to people. If you're talking about getting a date and speaking to women, obviously you've got to follow within the law. But I couldn't really answer that question because I've helped clients to get relationships and they've been at different ages. But I see where you're coming from. How old are you yourself? Are you up there in age? Is that what you're asking? I mean, I met with a gentleman the other day. He's going to do my coaching. He's 59. Oh, I mean, Johnny, are you kidding me, Johnny? You're 30 years of age. You're a baby. You're so young. Are you kidding me? Honestly, man. I feel like a baby. I'm 39. I met with a gentleman the other day. He's 59, and he did a coaching session with me. We just sat down and had a coffee. He did an hour. And he wants to do my 6 weeks program. He wants to he wants to find love, which is great. You're never too old if you're willing to search. So he's 59, 30 is a baby, But I suppose when you're in your 20s, you think 30 is is a big deal. It was a big deal for me, so I understand that. But you're young. How much are you going to pay me, Timmy? If you pay me, I'll pretend I'm a visitor. Just checking the time, guys. I've got a client at 1. What's the time? What's the time in here? Let's see on my phone. Just checking the time, gents. Okay. Still got a few more minutes. I really do need to get another coffee. I just feel sleepy. I put some sleeping powder in that. Yeah, the thing that's coming to mind is I know what people struggle with. Another thing is there's two habits with getting over social anxiety. There's the good habit and the bad habit. And the good habit is basically socializing consistently, as consistent as you can. And when I say socializing, I mean in all areas. I mean with family, with your friends. If you've got a girlfriend, then you obviously social with your girlfriend or partner. If you haven't got a girlfriend, then working on your dating life, your business life, going to the gym, just talking to people from day to day. That's the way I sum it up. So that's the good habit. But the challenging habit that a lot of people develop who've got social anxiety and they're shy is they make a habit of not socializing consistently, hiding away, or maybe meeting up with a friend one day and then months go by and they don't socialize, and that's what holds you back. That's why having a coach really helps you, because I push all my clients and I make them accountable so that they're socializing regularly. Obviously they're meeting me in sessions and we have 2-hour conversations, so they're getting that 2-hour practice every week in our sessions over coffee. So you need that consistent practice of talking to people, so you can you need to speak to people more so you can do exposure therapy and you can desensitize yourself from the anxiety and get more relaxed. Basically that's how you overcome it. You have to keep socializing. And then just to give you an example, so the anxiety is really high at the start. Let's say after 6 months of socializing it starts going down, and then the confidence starts going up. But we're not saying all, but a lot of people, and some of you, right, I'm not being disrespectful, I'm really trying to help you, you will appreciate that hopefully. A lot of you is the other way around, where you keep avoiding socializing, so the anxiety goes up, and as the anxiety goes up, your confidence goes down. So it's balancing it out. So it's constantly pushing yourself. Do you know what? It's kind of the same as the gym. People struggle to be consistent at the gym, and maybe you guys can answer why you struggle. And start off by going to the gym. People sign up to the membership and they're all enthusiastic, and they might start going gym for a month, and then after a month they quit. and you're not going to get nowhere if you do that. So that's why I said on the 1-year program, providing you're committed, I won't let you quit. We make an agreement, and that guarantees that you're going to be successful at overcoming your social anxiety, building your confidence, achieving your specific goals, and living the life that you want to live. So it takes commitment, it takes a consistent habit of socializing. Now, obviously, within 1 year, you obviously have days where you can relax. Of course, you have days off. You know, everyone needs days off. I like some time off to myself, away from people, just to enjoy your own company. That's fine. But it's getting the balance right, and I help my clients to get that balance right on the 1-year program, where there's weekly homework to socialize, monthly goals, and then there's a long-term year goal, and then in between that, you know, you have your rest days. I just need to get some water. Hold on a second, guys. I'm a bit tired. It's been a long week. Okay, moving on to the next thing that I want to say. I'm going to make notes my next live stream so I can, it'll be easier. So I think the most important thing is, hey Alan, is actually learning to enjoy it. And some of you might be asking the question, I think I said it on the last live stream, the answer is yes, is, you know, can it be fun? Does it have to be really difficult and challenging, overcoming social anxiety and, you know, going out and being social, talking to people, or building a business, or getting a relationship, or whatever your goals are? You guys are always welcome to tell me what your goals are. I'd love to know. And the answer is absolutely yes. Just because something's challenging and you've got to come outside your comfort zone, as a matter of fact, if you really commit to it, it can probably be the most funnest time of your life. And I can speak from experience. I hope this helps you guys. Probably one of the best times of my life was when I first started out facing my fears, when I had really bad social anxiety, just before, well, quite before I built my business and got a girlfriend and started teaching. It was an adventure, you know, it really was. I appreciate it, Alan, man. That makes me happy. I'm glad that you enjoy it, because I do always try and make an effort for you guys and give you a nice stream. And I love hotels anyway, and I like when I do it. I'm just hoping that I don't want to disturb the people here, and it's not because I'm scared. It's because, you know, my mum and dad have brought me up with good values and respect, which is important. Getting that balance. I think they're all right. I'm not shouting too loud, disturbing anyone. So yeah, you can enjoy it a lot, you know, honestly can. A lot of my clients at the start, you know, a lot of people, I'll not say all, but it's hard to enjoy at the start because it's really, you know, challenging for people. But once they get into it, they really start to enjoy the process of, you know, facing your social anxiety and socializing and having goals. But have you guys noticed I talk about goals and social anxiety a lot? Reason being because it's hard enough to overcome it, right? But without goals, it is close to impossible. Well, I think in that age, Johnny, the best thing to do is just be honest and ask someone's age. If you're not sure what someone's age is because you're worried about that, then I'll just be honest and ask, you know what I mean? I think a lot of times guys they overthink too much, you know, like, is a girl married, is she single, how old is, just ask her, you know, be a gentleman, be honest, she'll tell you. You know, if you're not sure of someone's age, then ask them, that's what I do, and then you know. And obviously if they're an appropriate age and they like you, then you can connect with them, go on a date. If they're not, then you say, have a great day, and you move on. You know, you follow the law, you be a gentleman, and make it simple. I think today people make things more difficult than they actually are. And a lot of that is what I just said, is by not communicating. And this is a fear a lot of my clients have that I help them to solve, where they're scared to be honest. I don't know if you saw my last video. I was celebrating my client Phil. He got his 4th sale in his coaching business. You're welcome, Johnny. Because I helped him to overcome that fear of being honest. Because he was afraid to make the sale over a message. He'd met someone in person. They wanted to do his coaching. They agreed to do it. So I said, contact him and ask him to make the payment. And he was a bit, and then he done it and he got the sale. So honesty is the best policy. Whenever you're not sure, as long as you're respectful, because if you're not honest, then all you're going to be doing is trying to second guess the situation. So ask, and not enough people. I don't know what it is about that. I know it's fear, but people seem to have a block with just being upfront and asking someone if you're not sure about something. No. Phil's it wasn't discounted. He's got his set price. Good question. Glad you asked me that. I'm actually coaching Phil and helping him to build his business up to where his prices will be high ticket prices. But for now, his prices are pretty good. So that's great. Yeah, what was I saying? I'm going to do a separate video on that. So yeah, communication is really important as well, because again, if you're not honest with people and if you don't have the courage to ask, then you're gonna keep coming unstuck with relationships, and it happens to a lot of people. That's a huge part of my coaching: communication, honest communication. Honesty is the best policy. And if you're not honest in sales, then you're not going to make any money. And that's why a lot of guys will struggle to get a date. It's not because they can't, it's not because they're not attractive or good enough, it's because they struggle to be honest. They're not just clear. They don't just, when they've got a connection, they don't just say to a woman, I like you, do you want to go out for a coffee or a date? Because the fear of rejection and the fear of just that raw, just being honest, clear with people. I understand. Just keep an eye on the time, guys, because I've got a client in, I think, about half an hour or so. I'm going to keep doing these things. I'm quite enjoying the theme of the 1 year, because there is a lot of information I've got to teach and get through, so I can keep it going on the streams and keep explaining it to people, get more people to commit to 1 year of socializing consistently, like the gym. That's another thing as well, even doing these live streams, there are times where you are tired, you do get tired when you speak a lot, especially if you've been introverted for many years and you've had social anxiety. You're not used to speaking for long periods of time. So when you start speaking more, I've seen it with clients where they start yawning. It used to happen to me, and I might yawn it in a second. People struggle because they haven't built the stamina up to speak. And if you see a lot of teachers and speakers, you probably wonder why they can speak for hours and hours and they just can keep going. And it's because practicing and building that state and getting used to it. And that was something that I discovered that I thought was amazing, that I learned that was it's a real advantage. Being when you can speak more. And I don't just mean because you've had 3 coffees and the coffee high is making you speak. I mean like naturally through lots of practice. And it's another way. This is another way, guys, you can measure if you're improving with your confidence and reducing anxiety. I see it with clients where if you can speak more fluently, more fluid, with more flow, and for longer periods of time, then you know that you've improved massively. Because when someone is stuck, they generally don't speak much, or they're going to get tired if they speak a lot. It'll be easier for them to just sit in a situation and let the other person talk and just be listening, going yeah, or just being there, because that doesn't take as much energy. So the skill of speaking, and like I've kind of covered today, it's also speaking with honesty. So when you have an honest conversation and you speak for a long period of time, although it can be really exhilarating and it can be a good experience, fun, it can also be exhausting, because you're not doing small talk, you're not hiding behind politeness and just layers of filters of basically talking a lot of just a lot of, it's not really, there's not much honesty in it, not much meaning. That's kind of easy, that's kind of safe. You don't really exert your social muscles, your courage muscles, but when you speak with more honesty, you use a lot more energy and a lot more muscles up. But the more you do it and the more relationships you've got with people where it's honest, time can just go so quick because you get into a flow state. But these things take practice and they take time, which is why I've said you need to dedicate at least 1 year if you want to overcome your social anxiety. And not just that, you want to change your whole life. All right, guys, I'm gonna finish it now because I'm gonna get ready for this. I've got a coaching call with a client, so we'll continue from these streams. I'm just gonna keep them going, so to be continued. And thanks for coming on, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you in a bit.